Russia says it will drastically reduce military activity near Kyiv as talks with Ukraine make headway. Ukrainian and Russian negotiators sat face-to-face for the first time in weeks on Tuesday in Turkey, resuming direct talks that Ukraine's government hopes will bring a ceasefire after more than a month of Vladimir Putin's brutal invasion. Ukrainian officials have been pushing for a ceasefire agreement to enable thousands of civilians to evacuate from besieged towns and cities that are still being bombed by Russian forces. Russia's lead negotiator Vladimir Medinsky emerged from Tuesday's talks to say his country had received a clearly formulated position from Ukraine, and that the possibility of making peace will become closer as the two sides continue to work quickly to reach compromises. Ukrainian negotiators also indicated some progress as the two sides seek to hammer out mutual security guarantees. David Arahamiya, one of the Ukrainian negotiators, declared a first victory merely by having the venue for the negotiations moved from Belarus, a Russian ally on Ukraine's northern border, to Turkey. Ukraine's leaders have made it clear since last week that they're willing to accept a formal neutral status for the country, ruling out NATO membership and accepting some constraints on its military, in exchange for an end to the war. It wasn't clear to what extent Russia's military would reduce its artillery barrage against Kyiv's suburbs and the decimated city of Chernihiv, close to the Russian border, but it was the first time Moscow had given any indication that it would reduce the intensity of its special military operation, since it began on February 24. Russia's defense ministry has said it will now focus its efforts on eastern Ukraine to ensure the independence of two breakaway regions held by Moscow-backed separatist fighters. Turkey's Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu said the round of Russia-Ukraine talks in his country had brought the most meaningful progress to date toward ending the war, but his American counterpart, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, was more cautious. While Russia's defense ministry pinned the change in tactics to the peace talks, a former Ukrainian ambassador told BBC News that, in his view, it was down to Russia being forced to accept realities on the ground. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a video address Monday evening that Russia's ruthless war against our nation had killed at least 143 children. He lauded Ukraine's defense forces for refusing to let Russian troops take Kyiv, and said they were even pushing Putin's military out of some towns it had seized near the capital. Williams was with Ukrainian forces as they traveled by road on Monday toward the town of Makariv, about 40 miles west of Kyiv. Ukraine said its troops recaptured Makariv last week, but as they approached, the Ukrainian forces spotted Russian drones flying overhead.